Hey good people, welcome back to Money's Book List. So I am here to film my Hope to Read, aka TBR, for Comic Book Fest. Comic Book Fest is something that me and my close friends have been doing for many years. I'm wearing this necklace because my child put it on me and I don't want to take it off because she might wake up and fight me. Anyway, so Comic Book Fest is a time of year that me and my friends get together and we decide as a group the books we're going to read, or the comic books or graphic novels we're going to read, and talk about them and praise some and not praise others. But I'm excited because even though some of us are still quarantining until we get our last shot for the vaccine, so we can't get together and talk about them. So what we're doing is we're going to do it virtually, but I'm going to tell you guys what I plan to read outside of the group's books. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some traditional comic books and then move into some non-traditional and just graphic novels that I'm just interested in reading, mainly because a lot of these graphic novel authors are people of color. So I'm so excited about that because I've been reading comic books for a very long time, and there are very few people who get to write comic books who are not white men. So no shade to white men. I love my white man, who is my husband. But I just enjoy the fact that there are people out there who get this opportunity too. And this hair over here is killing me. Yeah, so you're probably like, girl, wasn't your hair just purple red? It was, but it started to fade and your girl couldn't do a fade. Okay, I was like, I need that color rich. So I'm going back to it extremely soon. But until then, I installed this beautiful frontal with all this hair. Okay, all right, so let me get to these comic books. All right, so traditional, I'm going to start with DC. I have three from DC that I'm reading. I have Catwoman. Now, this one was written in 2018, I believe, and this is from basically, I forget what they call. They're called can versus non-can and all that good stuff. But this was written after Catwoman and Batman got married. There are some people out there in being copycat Catwomen. So she's trying to figure out who these heifers is and how to stop them. So I'm kind of excited. I'm not a huge Catwoman fan, but I really wanted to try it. Now, I actually started this in the month of March. I almost finished it, but I need to finish it. And this is actually the group book. So I want to make sure that when we talk about it in the middle of April, I have a fresh recollection of the book. This is Justice League Dark, and I know very little. When I went into it, I knew very little about it, but there's a magician, there's a monk. Come on now. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Wonder Woman is the lead in this one, so I'm really excited. I read another Wonder Woman book just recently, and it made me so angry. So, and then also, last but not least, most people who know me know that I actually prefer Marvel heroes, but DC villains are my favorite. And my favorite villain of all time happens to be the Joker. And I know a lot of people think he should be a certain way. My husband is one of those people who think he should be a specific way. But I like art. I like all of the variety that people write him in. I like the Joker. I think that it's an interesting perspective that someone who is slightly crazy, no, he's not slightly crazy. He is crazy. But like sometimes the gems he drops in throughout the books and in the way people write him is interesting to me. And I also don't like Batman. Batman is one of my least favorite comic book heroes because he's kind of smug and a know-it-all. And that's funny because one of my favorite comic book heroes is Tony Stark, who is also know-it-all. But anyway, but last but not least for DC is the Three Jokers, or Batman and Three Jokers. And I've started this just 2 days ago on the 1st, and it is crazy interesting. So the premise so far is that the Joker is out here There's apparently either he's multiplied himself, or he's pulled somebody from another dimension, because there's 3 Jokers and the Batman is trying to figure out what the hello and goodbye is going on. So I'm very excited about reading that. Again, I love the Joker. I think he is my absolute favorite villain. Okay, that's what I thought it was. All right, okay. So then from Marvel, again, I know very little about this one. It is called The Uncanny X-Men, and it looks like a new variety of X-Men, different than we know. It actually is, because I see M23 on here. So X-Men disassembled, my apologies. So that's what it looks like. So we will be reading this. I'm very excited to read this. Fun fact, I absolutely love the X-Men. I also love, I don't like the Avengers. I like the X-Men. And I don't like the Justice League, but I like the X-Men. Just so you know, I like the X-Men. And then this is a Christmas present from my husband. It's called 1602. And basically this is so cool, because what it does is it takes the comic book heroes that we know today and it puts them in 1602. So I think there's the Joker in here. I think no, that can't be possible, because this is Marvel. This is not DC. I actually don't know, because I haven't read any of it yet. So I'm excited. Yeah, my husband, he always gets me comic books. I tell people always a story about how he got me a comic book for our first date instead of flowers, and he has continued that. Every Christmas he gets me comic books. All of these comic books you see over here are from my husband, and they are Christmas presents. So yeah, he's a very sweet guy. So yeah, I'll be reading this also this month, and this is a chunker. Okay, all right, so those are all the traditional comic books that people know about. I'm gonna move into some new ones, or some non-traditional ones, and one that started my ventures into reading. So this one is extremely new. It was released in March, and I don't even know how a sister got it. Okay, I put it on hold at my public library, and they said, "Girl, come get this book." And I was like, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. So it's called Nubia. And basically, she has the strength of Wonder Woman, but people don't want to call her or refer to her as the Black Wonder Woman, or Wonder Woman in period, because she's Black. That's pretty much all I know about this, and I'm excited. Okay, excited. So that's what she looks like. This is technically young adult, and I am so excited. Okay, I'll stop. Next is a graphic novel that I have been wanting to read for a while, and I don't remember. Someone just read it, and I remember saying to them, I'm going to read that. And I try to be a person of my word, and I wanted to pick it up, and I finally got a copy of it. Again, from my public library, and it's called March, Book 1, and this is about John Lewis's rise, or his rise through, becoming a congressman, basically. And so I'm very excited to read this. This is Book 1. There are 3 books, I believe. Let me just make sure. No, I'm wrong. There's 4. So I'm excited to read this one. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. And this is basically his biography, but it's in graphic novel form. And I'm a basic chick, so this is just going to be helpful for me to get, learn about dude without actually reading the actual biography. Now, I know very little about this also, Skyward. I just keep seeing this everywhere, and I think it was one of my nephew's friends, who said, you like graphic novels, you should try Skyward. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a read. So I know very little about it. This is volume 1. I'll be able to tell you about it by the end of April, though. Okay. And then there is Blackbird. I'm very excited about this. She is very magical. I think there's a kidnapping in here, and she's trying to figure it out. And she got magic. So that's all I got. Hopefully I'll do a wrap up on my Instagram, and I'll tell you more about it. Now, from my understanding, this was a book that they turned into a movie, and now this is the graphic novel of, yeah, it says right here, now motion picture from Disney, Artemis Fowl. And I think this is a kid whose father is accused of like these heinous crimes in England or somewhere in Europe. And this kid is like this genius, and he has to help save his dad and all that kind of stuff. So I believe there's actually a novel, and then this is just a graphic novel for that novel. So yeah. All right, so these last two are kind of oldies, but they have been revamped for the younger generation. And I'm gonna go with this one first, and then I'll bring up the last one. So this one is Teenage Mutant Turtles, and this is by Casey April. Is that the name, or is that two people? Two people or one? Oh, okay. So I guess this is based off of Nickelodeon TV show. I'm reading this young adult stuff. I'm not gonna get anything from those inside. So yeah, so this is the cover. Fun story about Teenage Mutant Turtles. Many of you may know that I am adopted, or I am adopted back into my biological family. My aunt adopted me. She is the older sister to my biological mom, and my biological mom passed away from complications to her lifelong battle with lupus. And so this book is Ninja Turtles is very nostalgic for me because there was a while they were trying to study to determine if we had the genetic tracings of one of us developing lupus because she passed away from it or complications of it. And we would have to go to the doctor like once a month, and they would stick us and draw blood and stuff like that. And my grandparents bought this little TV, like car TV. It was literally this big, and it's one of my favorite memories of being with my grandparents is this small TV, and we had this antenna, and you would pull the antenna, and everywhere we went, the only cartoon we could ever watch was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there was be three of us huddled in the back of the car watching a screen. Literally, when I tell you it was this big, it was this big. And I remember like we would have to go get our shots or get our blood drawn, and we will watch it, you know, either on the way or the way home. And it was a very good memory for me and my two biological brothers. I have two biological brothers, and then I have 3 additional legal brothers. So I have 5 brothers total and 1 sister. So yeah, that's why the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sometimes I talk really fast and I fumble over my words. I need to calm down. Anyway, that's why that is so important to me, or like it touches me. And when I saw it, I was like, I have to get it. I gotta borrow it. I gotta read it. Last but not least is the first graphic novel series or a comic book series that literally got me into reading. I wish I was one of those girls who said, oh, it was a Babysitter's Club, or it was this and this. No, it was this particular comic book that got me, because they were right beside the cashier. You picked them up. You could get a whole I think you get like 10 of them for like $5. And so that's what I would do. I would get 10 of them, and then they made a cartoon of it, and I just loved everything about it. So it's been revamped for a younger generation. It's actually a TV show, and I think the TV show is called, it's not called this, it's called something else. But one of the twins from Zach and Cody's Surreal Life from back in the day on Disney plays Archie. And so that's what I got. Archie. And I have volume 2. This is not volume 1. Volume 1 is its own novel. I haven't gotten it. I don't even know if I'm going to read it. But the reason why I wanted this one was because straight in the middle of the comic, they have old school Archie, And it's one of the ones that I actually remember reading when I was a kid. And it's this one. So yeah, so I would just pick these up by the 10 for $5. And fun fact, every time I would get in trouble, my mom would take away my Archie. She's like, you can read anything but Archie. And that's what, after, you know, when I would get punished, that's what then led me to other stuff. I was never a big fan of the Babysitter Club. I think I read them because all of the girls I went to school were reading them. I remember everyone was reading Sweet Valley High. I was never a huge fan of those. There was this one book series, and I can never remember the name of it, but it was about boarding school girls, and that was a series that I liked. I still can't remember the name of it, but I remember reading like all of the books. There were like 6 books in the series. But back to Archie. So yes, I have Archie and Sabrina. Of course, Sabrina's from Sabrina to Teen Witch. But we're going to see how this goes. So yeah. What is the name of that show that Archie's in now? What is the name of the city? Because Riverdale. That is what it is. Riverdale. So yeah. So this is the last one. I'm hoping to get through all of those. I think that's about what? That's a good number. So what is that? 10 or 15? I think last time I counted, I think they were, I don't know. Let me just do really quick. So hopefully I get through all of those. Those are 12 comic books. Now, because there are pictures, there's less words to read, but there are a lot of words on all of these 12 graphic novels. Do I think I'm going to get through all of them? Probably not, but I'm going to give it my damnedest. I'm going to do my damnedest to do it. I'm going to give it the old college try. And hopefully I do it. If I don't, that's okay. I'm going to continue to read them in the month of May, June, July, August, September, October. I'm going to keep reading. So that is my TBR for Comic Book Fest. Again, guys, it's a fun time. If you want to read along and just, join the discussion points with me and my friends, you're welcome to. Or if you want to pick a graphic novel to read along with me, you're more than welcome to do that also. I love buddy reads. Anybody who wants to buddy read with me, buddy read, okay? Other than that, I think that's it. Until next time, you know what your girl's gonna say. Bye.